Alright, so. Clap the boom, I'm coming through. They wanna see what I'm about.
Sergei Pavlovich, that motherfucker can bomb. His boxing is fucking tight, very tight, man. Real power punches, excellent technique, big guy too.
Sergei Pavlovich is a man of few words, but his stoic demeanor speaks volumes about his character. He is often described as humble and laser-focused, dedicating himself to perfecting his craft and leaving the trash talk to others. These attributes have endeared him to fans and have been a driving force behind his steady rise in the rankings. The Russian MMA fan base is absolutely enamored by him, and the rest of the world is soon catching up. Inside the octagon, Pavlovich is a completely different beast. He displays ruthless aggression and refuses to back down, even when faced with the most formidable opponents. Pavlovich loves to rush straight in and drop bombs, well-calculated bombs, but bombs nevertheless. And if the fight goes to the ground, he won't have much issue in that department either. But does he have what it takes to win the heavyweight crown? Let's see. Early days. Born on June 10, 1992, in the bustling city of Rostov-on-Don, Russia, Sergei Pavlovich was raised by a modest, hardworking family. From a young age, Sergei was fascinated by the world of combat sports. Sergei's martial arts journey began with wrestling at only 5 years old. After 14 years of wrestling, Pavlovich went to the military. After his time in the military, he began training in combat sambo, a Russian martial art that combines elements of judo, kickboxing, and wrestling. Under the watchful eye of his coaches, Sergei quickly excelled, demonstrating natural athleticism and a fierce determination to succeed. While many athletes in the world of MMA come from various athletic backgrounds, Sergei Pavlovich's upbringing was entirely devoted to combat sports. He was surrounded by a supportive family that encouraged his passion and provided the resources he needed to train and compete. And it shows why his family was so supportive. Pavlovich was a natural. He was built like a Soviet-era fridge, and he had the power to back it up. He also has a reach of 84 inches. To those who don't pay attention to such stats, that's a lot. That makes Pavlovich a bit shorter than John Jones, yet he has the same reach as him. And for someone who likes to throw bombs, that's quite an invaluable predisposition to have. But what exactly made him so good? Sergei Pavlovich's fighting style is a beautiful and deadly symphony of striking and grappling. His background in sambo, judo, and boxing has molded him into a well-rounded fighter, capable of finishing a fight on his feet or on the ground. Pavlovich's striking is characterized by powerful punches, devastating combinations, and excellent distance management that often gets overshadowed by his raw power. He is able to close the gap in an instant, delivering devastating blows that leave his adversaries reeling. His grappling skills are not to be underestimated either. With a strong foundation in sambo and judo, Sergei can effortlessly transition from striking to grappling, utilizing his strength and technique to control his opponents on the ground. His well-rounded skill set, long reach, and tremendous power make him a nightmare matchup for anyone in the heavyweight division. The beginning of his MMA career. From the outset, it was clear that Pavlovich was destined for greatness. In 2014, he began his professional career, quickly making a name for himself in the Russian MMA scene. He amassed an awe-inspiring 12-0 record, competing in various promotions such as Fight Nights Global, Pro FC, and Eurasia Fight Nights. 9 of these fights never made it past the first round, and most of them didn't even last 2 minutes. Courtesy of Pavlovich's sledgehammer punches. During his time in Fight Nights Global, Pavlovich had the opportunity to test his skills against some of the toughest competitions in the region. He continued to dominate, eventually capturing the heavyweight title in a stunning display of power and technique. His last test before the big stage came in form of Kirill Sanelikov, named Baby Fedor. Yep, that's right, and his coach was none other than, you guessed it, Fedor Emelianenko himself. Kirill and Sergei already faced off against each other during their combat sambo days, where Baby Fedor had the upper hand and won the match via TKO. However, Sergei improved a lot since then and ended the fight like many others during his 11-win win streak with a bomb-like overhand right that swung Sanelikov to the floor. His impressive, undefeated streak and championship pedigree caught the attention of UFC executives who recognized his potential to make waves on the international stage. In 2018, Pavlovich was offered a contract to join the ranks of the UFC. The stage was set for this menace of a heavyweight to enter the octagon with some of the hardest hitters in the world. UFC Career. Sergei's UFC debut was a true test of his mettle as he faced the legendary Alistair Overeem. Pavlovich was good, but there are levels to this game, and although past his prime, Alistair was still a dominant force in the heavyweight division. It was a valuable learning experience for Pavlovich, who has since displayed that he, too, can slug it out with the big boys. Following the loss to Alistair Overeem, Sergei Pavlovich went on an absolute tear through the heavyweight division. Each fight after that defeat was a first-round KO, with 5 of them not even lasting longer than a minute. He would go on to KO Maurice Green, and then after taking a 2-year-long break due to injury and COVID, he would go on to dispose of Shahil Mabunahimov. The win over Shamil earned him a fight with one of the heavyweight kings. The Black Beast, Derek Lewis, knows a thing or two about dropping heavyweight with a well-timed punch, but Pavlovich seemed like the faster, stronger, and more technical version of him without lacking the power. He ditched Shui celebrity Tai Tuivasa, who, before losing to the heavyweight prodigy that is Sergei, went on a 5-fight winning streak. Many fans and fighters were expecting Tai to do work of Pavlovich, but in true Pavlovich fashion, the fight was over in less than a minute. It seems as if Pavlovich has climbed a few levels since entering the UFC back in 2018. Impact on the UFC heavyweight division. As Sergei Pavlovich continues to ascend through the ranks, his presence has the potential to shake up the heavyweight division. His combination of raw power, technical ability, and mental toughness make him a formidable opponent for anyone in the top 10. With another potential win under his belt, he could find himself in title contention, breathing new life into the division and bringing a fresh challenge to the sports elite. Sergei Pavlovich's next big challenge comes in the form of Curtis Blaydes, a top-ranked heavyweight with a strong wrestling background and a reputation for relentless pressure. This matchup is a pivotal moment for both fighters, as a victory would significantly propel them closer to a title shot. For Pavlovich, this fight is an opportunity to demonstrate his growth and prove that he can contend with the elite in the heavyweight division. The outcome of this bout will be a major factor in determining his future in the UFC and his place among the sport's greatest heavyweights.